Welcome to our video tutorial today, where we will learn how to send out a health campaign using your Connect system. We'll need to create three specific elements, then pack them together to be sent out as a message. Our first element will be to create a group. So let's get started and click on Campaigns and then Groups. This is where we will be able to create your first element, a group of patients that you wish to send your health campaign out to. For the purpose of our video, we will use an example of a flu invitation for 65 years and older, but feel free to choose any campaign of your choosing to action. So let's click on Create Group. We want to name our group. In this specific case of this health campaign, we'll call it Flu Invite 65 Plus. Then keep your group type on patients and hit Save. Here, we are brought to the Edit Group pop-up box where we can insert the patients we wish to place together in a group. Action this step in advance on your clinical system and have the group you wish to message exported into an Excel spreadsheet. This would just be easier to obtain the necessary information into our Edit Group tab and then create our group. Now, once this is done, we have two ways of introducing your patients into a group. We can search them up on a name-by-name basis, which is handy for smaller groups, or in the case of a health campaign where you're sending a message out to hundreds of patients, we can obtain their patient ID numbers directly from your Excel spreadsheet. We can copy the entire patient ID column, then jump back to the iPLATO Edit Group page and paste them into the patient ID box. Now all we must do is click the Move Selected arrow and your patients should appear in the recipients box. If you can now see that a new button named Excluded has appeared below your recipients box, you can click on this and it will show you all your patients that don't have working mobile phones. So they'll need to be contacted via other means, for example, a letter or a home phone call. Fortunately, the iPLATO software needs an active mobile user for our campaign to reach them. With all that done, let's hit save. Now, let's create our second element, a piece of text that will act as our message. So let's go to template. Here we are in our template section. To create a brand new template for a flu invite, we will go over to the create template section. This will bring us to the manual template message pop-up. Here we must choose or create a subject for our template. In this message box, we can create the text we wish to appear in our message that's sent out to our patients. In the context of our campaign that we're creating for this specific video, I will copy and paste a flu invite template. Here we can see mail merges can be inserted into the message and the software will fill it out for you automatically, and a trigger word can be placed into the template as well. We can see our trigger word is in big capital letters and it is decline. Now this word we can assign a read code so that when a patient wishes to decline a flu invite with this specific response, a read code will be sent back to their patient record. At this moment though, it's just a piece of text. So with our third step, we will give this trigger word an actual function. So let's hit save and let's go to trigger words. Let's create a trigger word entry that links up with our existing template. So click add new. Now we must fill in all the necessary information for this trigger word to function. So our campaign name was Flu Invite 65 Plus. Our trigger word was decline in capital letters. Now we can choose and assign the specific read code that we wish to give to the decline trigger word. As you can see, the read code term has automatically been filled in. You can also do the search in reverse by looking up the read code term instead, and then the code itself will automatically fill in. Now, our final step will be choosing the end date. The date we choose gives the trigger word a specific lease on life. It activates and then expires once it has reached that set date, making the trigger word itself no longer functional. Keep in mind, if you're running multiple campaigns at the same time, all that have several active trigger words, keep those trigger words unique. For example, if decline was assigned this read code and then decline was used in a separate campaign with a different read code assigned to it, the software will just become confused and not know which correct read code to send back to your patient record. Let's choose a date that gives your patient a flexible amount of time to respond, and now let's save it. Great. So that is our third and final element done. We have everything we need to send this health campaign out. So let's open the new message tab. Here we are on the page that allows us to pick up our pre-prepped elements and send this health campaign out. Our health campaign, we've created a group in advance, and so let's focus on the lower box named groups. Here, we have found our group. All we need to do is select it, then hit the move arrow, and our group of patients will show up in the recipient's box. Fantastic. Once you see them, all we need to do is hit the next button and go to the next page. So here we have the option of assigning the text we wish to send out to our patients. If you were just sending out a single manual message to a patient, you can just freehand type a message right into that box. But in creating a health campaign, we will have already created a template, one with a read code assigned to a specific trigger word. So let's not freehand type anything. Let's focus on the templates box on the left. Here, we found our specific template. All we need to do is click the text itself, and then we hit our move arrow, and we will see the template appear in the message box. Now, let's just click on next, and we'll go to our third and final step. Here we are on our final stage. We can customize how the health campaign is sent out. Under the scheduled send time, you have the option of sending now, or if you preferred, to send later. With the send later option, you can program the message to be sent out at a specific date and even a specific time. For our health campaign, let's go to read code and click on the add button. Before, we were able to assign a read code to our trigger word, but here in this section, we can assign a read code to the actual message itself. You can do this by going to the read code field and inputting the appropriate read code you wish to be sent back to the patient's record once this message is sent out. For the purpose of our campaign, let us input the read code of flu invitation sent. Now, just hit save, and a read code has been assigned to the message itself. By default, the user who has created the message will be assigned all of the replies to their user account email address. If you wish to change this default action, all you need to do now is click on the custom email list. Then input the preferred email where you want the responses to be sent to in the add email field. Then hit the plus icon and select the email address from the custom email list. Then all you have to do is just hit save. Fantastic. Everything has been set up and action for a health campaign. The last thing we must do now is just click on confirm to send. So by clicking on confirm to send, we will see our summary pop-up box. This gives us a chance to double check all the information that we have put together and make sure it looks good to be sent out. It will also point out useful pointers like credit after sending or which reply email the response will be sent to. If everything looks correct, everything looks good, then all that needs to be actioned is to hit send. And that's it. That's how you put together a health campaign using the iPLATO software.